Hello everybody, I'm so excited to introduce you to Lin Urborg. How are you, Lin, today?
I'm great, thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And Fiber Warriors, this interview gonna be the best for you if you have problems to sleep, because the goal for this interview is that tonight you can sleep more and better and feel that you rested, right?
Excellent, yes.
So who is Lin? Lin is writing a book about the sleep, and we're going to start with this interview. Lin, why is quality sleep so important for brain and overall health?
So quality sleep is extremely important because during sleep, the deep sleep cycle, or the slow brainwave cycle, brain cleanup takes place, memory consolidation, and healing of tissues, tissue repair. So during the brain cleanup, there's a system called the glymphatic system, and that's responsible for cleaning up the toxins that get built up during the day. And without that toxin cleanup, we could be walking around like zombies. In fact, I have many times.
Yes.
It's very difficult to focus. So during that toxin cleanup as well, amyloid beta, it's a protein that gets built up in the brain also, and it's linked to Alzheimer's disease. And during deep sleep, that amyloid beta gets cleaned up as well. So it's deep sleep and slow wave brain are critical for brain cleanup and overall brain health. And then memory consolidation, that is also very much linked to brain health, and without it, if it's impaired, our decision making is impaired, our abilities to think clearly, and our moods are also altered. And that's all due to neurons that are overloaded in the brain. A neuron overload impacts our brains tremendously. And so that's the memory consolidation. Then the third is healing and tissue repair. So the tissue repair is critical, and hormones are released during that time. Hormones act as assistants to repair the tissues, and heart disease and diabetes are linked to inflammation, and inflammation during our deep sleep hours is reduced. And so the tissues, as a result of the correct hormone release, help with the inflammation response and reducing that inflammation response. So all three help the brain.
So interesting. Okay, Lin. Anything else?
Yeah, I could say that healing response, just speaking to my personal experience, when we don't have the proper sleep, cannot access that deep sleep cycle, the aging response in our body is accelerated. So that's another reason why we need to access the deep sleep for those of us that want to stay beautiful and such. Well, just overall health for deep sleep. So there are other ways that I could communicate also the brain cleanup. So if any of your listeners have experienced a lack of sleep, for instance, upon awakening, it might feel like, at least for me, during my worst times, it feels as though my brain hasn't been cleaned up, as though I've gone through a laundry cycle or a dishwashing cycle, and all that crud is left on my brain. And that's what interrupts our clear thinking. So that's a way to kind of visualize from first-hand experience what that brain cleanup does and why it's so useful, why it's so important.
Thank you, Lin. If someone is dealing with insomnia, why is it important to monitor sleep patterns?
Okay, so what I have found is monitoring the sleep is critical too, because there are a number of factors that could affect our sleep. One, emotional stress. If we are dealing with emotional stress and we don't clear it, for instance, before we go to bed by journaling or in therapy, that stress cannot process thoroughly in the night, and that could keep us up, that could wake us up or keep us from sleeping. So I found that journaling before bed is very useful. It could also be just daily stress from that we've carried from the day, like traffic or whatever. Our nervous system needs time to unwind. And if we monitor our sleep, let's say the next morning when we wake up, I didn't sleep well. What could that have been from? Could it have been something that I ate? Did I drink caffeine too late in the day? I should have stopped by 3 o'clock. So monitoring and taking note, both journaling before going to bed and then upon awakening and analyzing, how was that sleep? Was it good? What made it good? Or did I have challenges? What caused those challenges? That I found to be key in monitoring my sleep and resolving sleep issues.
Okay. What are the most important exercises, Lin, to enhance sleep quality, and how often would you suggest doing them?
Okay. The most important exercises are ones that calm the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, or the rest and restore. And so those exercises include Qigong, meditation, restorative yoga, regular yoga, and alternate nostril breathing, all of which activate the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is responsible for that rest and digest response in the body. If we go to sleep from being very active during the day and not allowing our brains and our bodies and our spirits to unwind, then we hit the pillow and expect our minds to turn off, and it's just not going to happen automatically. It just won't. And what happens is it takes us longer to fall asleep. Perhaps we can't fall asleep, or we are processing all that information, all that undigested information during the night, and it impacts the quality of our sleep. It could interrupt our sleep. So each of these exercises done daily, I would say I do several. I implement several.
That's some exercise that we can show to everybody to do it right now.
Okay.
Do you have some?
Okay, so one that I could show right now. Well, alternate nostril breathing. I don't know that I do. What? Are you familiar with alternate nostril breathing?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, I could show you this one. I wasn't prepared for this one. I'll go ahead and do this.
Spontaneous.
Good. Spontaneity is good. So, alternate nostril breathing. What you do is you take the thumb of your right hand and you close off the right nostril. Place the middle finger at the bridge of your nose. Okay.
It's
and
like
then
this.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
And then breathe in through the left nostril. Breathe out through the left nostril. close that left nostril. Open the right nostril. Breathe in. Breathe out through the right nostril. Close that nostril, and then again, breathe in through the left nostril. And breathing out. So continuing this cycle at your own pace allows the nervous system to relax. And I would say continuing this pattern for 9 or 10 cycles. And you'll notice a difference. Do you notice a difference just in those 2 cycles?
Actually, I feel more calm.
That's right. It calms the nervous system. It balances the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And activates the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's very good.
Thank you.
I oftentimes sit at the edge of my bed before turning off the lights and do that. That's part of my bedtime routine.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Lin, what inspired you to write a book about sleep?
Well, after 13 years of going through sleep difficulties, it was many years, I was up one night about 2 in the morning, and I thought, well, I'm wide awake. I'm going to just start writing about my sleep experience. And I wrote from a place of transparency. I was just in a place that was real, as though I was writing a journal, but yet at the same time writing to my future sleepless audience. And so I found that through my writing it was inspirational, what was coming through, because I had gone through so many years of sleep difficulties. I had valuable things to share. Not only my story, but tools and things that I've implemented. Changing my pillow, for instance, or altering my diet, a number of things that assisted in my sleep quality. I had a ways to go. I had 3 more years to go before things really shifted to a place of fine quality sleep. But even at that point, I was writing about, I have something to share here. And these listeners or readers they'll be able to relate. And I wasn't aware at that point, and I'm not even aware yet still, of anybody that's written a book that's dealt with insomnia or sleep challenges for many years that others can relate to. And it could, I know that's the case with other diseases, be it heart disease, cancer. There's many support groups out there, but and there may be support groups out there for insomniacs, I'm not sure. Maybe you would know. But this certainly was a supportive book that I saw potentially that could ease the minds and the hearts of people that were dealing with sleeplessness. And learn some tips, of course. And along the way, as the book developed, now I started writing that book 3 years ago. And so as time went along, I more intentionally researched sleep. With the thought in mind that, okay, this is going to be a book for sleep for people that are suffering with insomnia. So it was important to me to write from a place of not authority, but to give it more credibility. My story is one thing, but to give the book credibility was important to me. So that's what motivated me and inspired the book.
Thank you. I wonder if you have special bed, a special pillow, because some people asked me about how and improve the sleep cycle. So, for example, in my case, I need to use black curtains, and I need to deal with so much activities or ritual before to go to sleep. So what about you? Tell me your secrets.
Oh boy, well, many of which are in the book. I'll share some.
Yeah.
I'll give you a taste. So I sleep with a special pillow. It's a cervical pillow. And the reason for that is at one point along the line, I discovered that I was snoring. And snoring could impact sleep. I, in fact, thought that I had sleep apnea, but I didn't. I bought this cervical pillow, and it supports the neck, and the snoring decreased, and my sleep quality improved. I sleep with blackout curtains. When I don't, I find that that's definitely an issue, because light interrupts sleep. And I also sleep with an eye mask on. And another way to calm the nervous system, by the way, and that helps drop into sleep, is an eye pillow. Have you heard of that? An eye pillow?
No.
Okay. That's in yoga. Oftentimes yoga teachers bring eye pillows to class, and that helps also to activate the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system. It helps to calm the nervous system. So the pressure on the forehead and light pressure on the eyes. I do the bed. It took a while to find. I felt like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, if you've ever heard of that. Okay. Finding the right mattress was important, and there's a number of other things that have helped with my sleep as well. I guess, okay, so yeah, that's
some tips. Okay. And I was thinking about the relationship between technology, Wi-Fi with a cell phone, that some people, some of my clients or some of my patients, I know the cell phone is really useful. They have a lot of apps, but at the same time, they ask me how closer to be during the night to get the cell phone. Because some people put under the pillow or very close to in the room. And for me, I turn off the Wi-Fi, and I need to manage with this. I don't know if you have some ritual about the Wi-Fi electricity.
I sure do, and that's the main piece of the book, actually. I go into this in depth. They're called electromagnetic frequencies or electromagnetic interference. The room is clean of any electronics. I don't even sleep with a clock in my room.
Me either.
And as far as phone technology, I turn off my phone at night. No airplane mode, I turn it off. If I use the phone after sundown for any reason, I wear blue blocker glasses. They're amber glasses. No devices, really. I turn those off. All devices are turned off before bed. As Maria said, I also turn off the Wi-Fi. I turn off the router at night. I've gone to the extreme of having the smart meter removed from outside our home. These EMFs are extremely linked and interfere with sleep and health. There's many studies out there that prove that, and research. So there's much that can be done to clean up that dirty energy in the house. And if you're having a problem sleeping, it could likely be the EMFs, particularly if you're a highly sensitive individual like myself. I'm highly sensitive. And if you want to find out, if you want to take a questionnaire or evaluation to find out if you are, there's evaluations online. But that's useful to know. so that you could help yourself in that way.
Okay, thank you, Lin. And what would you say to someone who has tried everything and their insomnia is getting worse?
Well, that in part relates to the EMFs. I would say that that's one aspect. If you haven't already sought out professional help, do so. And I would say, again, a psychologist could be of utmost importance there. If you haven't tried out therapy yet, seeing your medical professional, maybe they will have some insight. I personally went the alternative route. Western medicine didn't suit me, and that's not the case for everybody, but it didn't. And so I've gone alternative routes. So chiropractic, acupuncture, homeopathy, osteopathy. These all helped my energies flow and heal properly and calm my nervous system. Because much of what was taking place for me, and if sleep is an ongoing issue for you, the nervous system's impacted, the adrenals are impacted, and those need to be addressed.
Okay.
And supplements to help feed the adrenals and to help calm down the nervous system. So that I can go on and on about that, but that's key, very key. If you haven't addressed those, do so and see how you feel.
Thank you, Lin. You're really generous to share everything. And what would you say to a woman struggling with fibromyalgia and chronic pain that is afraid to start in the process of seeing a psychologist?
Well, I could say that I have a good friend and yoga teacher who struggled with fibromyalgia for many years, and she told me that fibromyalgia is where a person stores traumas in the body and emotions. And the majority of individuals that are struggling with fibromyalgia have had and experienced some type of trauma in their lives. So psychotherapy is a critical component to help work through those traumas and work through the emotions. And what she found was the combination of psychotherapy, meditation, yoga, acupuncture, and personally she takes Lexapro and dietary changes, as well as having she's very good about her sleep hygiene. So the combination of all those, she has managed her fibromyalgia, she's told me, to the degree where she experiences very little, if any, pain now. So psychotherapy was very much of an important component to her healing process, Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lin, for your time, your experience, your knowledge, your tips, and for being here. I'm so grateful. And I don't know if you want to add any final comments. How can we connect with you?
So what I would say to your listening audience is, if you've been struggling with sleep for even a short period of time, if I've gone through it for 15 years, totally have hope and faith, because I went from survival and feeling dead most of the time and could barely think to thriving. So there are answers out there for you. Just keep seeking them out, and you'll find them. You will absolutely find them. So keep going.
Thank you so much, Lin, for this message. I know that it's from your heart, it's your experience, and It's so powerful, this interview. So please, if you know somebody that is fighting with to get better sleep cycle, share this video. And thank you so much, and see you later. Bye bye.